Ah, nostalgia. It can play a hell of a thing when you're talking about reviewing video games. So if it's not obvious, this is my review on Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Recently released, I say recently, it was this year, but was recently released worldwide. It originally got released in Japan first, and then we had a quick translation process, and it came out in English for both European and American territories, as well as on the HK markets, like the Chinese market, that sort of area as well, so you can get on like the marketplace there. Okay, so what am I going to think about this? Now, I'm going to wait to say my overall opinion towards the end of the video, and I apologise for anyone looking at the footage. The very start of it I took from the American release trailer, but the footage that you're seeing like playing now, that was from my live stream footage, so again, I apologise. If you've seen any of my live stream footage, you would have seen me play it as well. So, this is a sequel game, and it's kind of hard to talk about this game without bringing up the first game, which was just Cyber Sleuth, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Now, Cyber Sleuth was a brilliant game. It's probably one of the best Digimon games I've played, especially with an English translation as well. It took the RPG elements, obviously then for the Digimon in, it took out any of the virtual pet nonsense that you get in the typical Digimon World games, which is probably why I wasn't too keen on the last Digimon World game. Was it Next Order that it was called? But yeah, I'm not too keen on the whole virtual pet thing. I just like RPGs really, and Digimon as a whole. So Cyber Sleuth had not as a quick turnaround. It had its Japanese release. We weren't really too sure if we were going to be getting the English release. But it happened. Fans obviously enjoyed it, played it, and the way I'd sort of describe it is like a mix between Persona 4 and Digimon. Now that carries on into Hacker's Memory as well. So, Cyber Sleuth itself, I believe it came out, was it 2015? Or is that, I could be wrong, I should just look up this stuff before trying to talk about it. But anyway, Hacker's Memory, the Japanese release came out on December 14, 2017, and then the worldwide release in English was roughly January 19th, 2018. I believe the American version came out a day or so sooner. I remember seeing it pop up on like discussion threads first of all, but then this one came out. Now, again, with this being like a semi-sequel to the last game, it's hard to just outright say go out and buy this game. It took a lot of assets from the original game, because this game's story itself sort of runs alongside the story of the first Cyber Sleuth game. Not exactly coincide, like it's not a case of you played the first game, you don't need to play the second game, but it helps in this instance for you to play the first game first and then come to this one, because otherwise when there's like cameo characters popping up and the events of the game, if you've not played the first game you won't really know what's going on. And I'm going to try and avoid saying spoilers. I apologise, I know some of the footage probably will show spoilers, and I don't really want to spoil the story overall. But yeah, like I said, this one had the quick turnaround time from being Japanese to English, and that's essentially what you pay for when you buy the Digimon games these days. You're paying for the fact that we're getting an English game in the first place, and you're paying for the turnaround time. So I've just apologise, I'm just bringing up Wikipedia on my phone just to double check. So Cyber Sleuth 1, when it was released in Japan, it was just a Vita game. And that released on March 12, 2015, and then the UK release was on February 5th, 2016. So you can see there was nearly a year turnaround compared to what, less than a month, maybe just over a month. I've already forgotten the time scale for this one's release. But I think the main reason for this one's quick release is because of the fact that they could just take assets from the last game. Again, character names, models, attacks, they were already out there, and that made it easy. And with the story being connected, there's portions of it that are partly translated, so they've got the leg in the door to get it out quicker. With the quick release as well, it meant that you didn't really get to see much spoiled by the Japanese gamers playing the game. Apparently the online system is broken, like, I don't know if you can see on the Reddit threads, but there's people saying about the online play, there's people hacked it, so they've got like more Digimon than they should have, or something along them lines. I've not really been too bothered. I've not actually played the online part of this, so that's not going to be included in this review at all. Online play does nothing for me, especially in a game like this. It's an RPG game. It's meant to be single player. That's how I've taken it. Now, as far as gameplay wise, if you've played Cyber Sleuth, you've played this one. It's the exact same game engine. There was the addition of like domination battles, I believe like takeover events. Like as you can see, I think this footage is playing now. I think this is actually a domination battle. Actually one towards the end of the game, so sorry about that. But yeah, it's a domination battle where you basically got to score points. You either have to win so many points or defeat the enemies. That's the way they go. The sort of like area capture ones is like a flag sort of thing. You've got to take over 5 flags and then fight the commander of that area, and then that's the quest over. But that's like the mission quests. So it's quite strange to say, because obviously in the first game you were literally playing a Cyber Sleuth. That's the best way to call the character description, where in this game you're just like a hacker really. The plot of it is your account has been taken over by someone, and you're trying to essentially find out what's gone on, get it back. You become a hacker in the process. It has some nice like added bonuses as well, so there's more Digimon in this game as well. Not that many more, but there is more. And there's some more skills as well. Like I noticed you can accelerate to go faster in the areas. Now when I've gone back to play the original Cyber Sleuth on the Vita, that ability doesn't seem to be there, so either I've forgotten about it or I wasn't there in the first place. One of the things I want to mention as well is crossplay. So both Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory support crossplay, so you can basically play the game on the Vita and the PS4, take your save between the games, carry on playing. Now it may be cross-play, but it's not cross-buy, which means if you want that experience, you've got to fork out the cash twice. Now this way it comes a bit of a problem. These games have pre-order bonuses that stop being sold alongside the games after a while. I'm not sure if they're still for sale with at the moment. It's normally like extra Digimon, that kind of things. But if your save, if you don't have the DLC on one of the ones, like say I've got it on the Vita, but don't on the PS4, I can't transfer my save between the two because the console version doesn't have that DLC. So that's a bit of a pain in the Digi-arse, so to speak. Again, last time on Cyber Sleuth, I bought both the Vita version and the PS4 version. More so because I was travelling a lot, it made sense for me to be able to transfer the save over. This time I didn't do that. I didn't want to spend too much money, especially with the fact that I realised pretty early on it's not that much different from the original Cyber Sleuth. I wouldn't say it's like the Pokemon Red and Blue, like it's not the same story, just that way, but I'd say more like, if you were going to compare it Pokemon wise, Cyber Sleuth is like Red, Blue, Green, and Hacker's Memory, it's kind of like Pokemon Yellow in that respect. I mean, yeah, it's got its own story, but it ties so much into the last game's story. One of the things I didn't like about this game is on Cyber Sleuth you get to pick between a boy and a girl. Now this one you don't. You're forced to play as a male character. You could say it's plot driven, the reason why you have to play as a male character, but honestly there's nothing I saw story wise where they couldn't have made it a female character at all. So I'm a little bit let down by that. But again, you know, we've paid to get a Digimon game in English, that's what we've done. If we want to see more of these games coming out in English, we've got to keep buying them. Like I said, I purchased Next Order as well, and I have no interest in that. Even before I bought it, I had no interest in it. I did play the leaked Vita English copy of that, and I didn't like it then, but I still bought the game at launch, just so they could see that I'm interested in Digimon games and keep releasing them. Just on the back of Digimon English releases, I think it's the team that's working on the Digimon Adventure PSP game, the translation, they say they're near the end now, so keep an eye on that space if you want to play that. I've been playing the partial release that came out a while back. I've only recently started playing it, but that's a good game as well, so I've been playing that on and off between playing this. So like I said, I can't discuss the online play. Story-wise, it's not exactly the best of stories. As mentioned, you're a hacker, you're trying to find out what's happened to your account. I won't go in too much into it, again, because of potential spoilers, but that's the main gist of it. You become part of this group called Hoodie. That's like the blue coat people. Yeah, that's all I can really say story-wise. Now, when I started this game, I imported my save from Sleuth. So what that meant was the field guide I had in Sleuth and the medals I had transferred over to my save. It also, for some reason, transfers over your time played. So when I started this game, I was already at over 100 hours played, which I think is pretty insane. I don't get why they wanted to import the hours played over. Maybe so you can keep an eye on how long you've been playing the game. Who knows? But it did come in handy. Doing that does come in handy. You get items as well. I can't remember exactly which items because I'd never used them. I just pretty much kept them throughout my entire gameplay. Because this game is quite exploitable, just the same way Cyber Sleuth was exploitable. What I mean by that is there's a farming system where you can develop items. I think the main ones are the Tactician USBs, and I can't remember the name of the money one. I think it's the Billionaire USB one. Sorry, just quickly looking at my phone. But yeah, there's the Billionaire USB. Now the Billionaire USB, that one's slightly harder to actually farm. When you farm the Tactician USB, you get 2 at a time. When you do the Billionaire USB, you have to do it each one individually. Later on in the game, when you get to Undercalon level 5, you can farm it by defeating the Etamon there. I think it's King Etamon. I'm not sure if I'm going to include any footage of that in this sort of video. I mean, maybe. I think I'm in the area now where that occurs, but yeah, you can farm it that way. So what that essentially means is XP pretty much means nothing, because you can start really farming pretty early in the game. I think by the time I reached chapter 3, I already had some mega level Digimon. I already had pretty much the Tactician USBs. I think I had 12 or something by quite early on in the game. Again, that was just because of my experience with Cyber Sleuth. I knew that you could do this, and that's one thing I planned on doing. But with the field guide being imported over, that made it easier. That meant I knew what Digimon I wanted. I can just follow the field guide, get the Digimon I wanted. Also, I discovered there's like a nice little cheat way to get Impildramon if you've had the field guide imported over. So if you get Stingmon, and then go up Stingmon's evolutionary line, and if you then go to, I think it's like one of the Quagamons that can digivolve to, I think it's the Mega Stage Quagamon. Once you get to Quagamon, you can then digivolve down. I think it was either into Dino Beamon or Impildramon, and there you go, you've got the fusion Digimon with only using one Digimon. So that was like a nice little tip. I didn't discover it until later on in the game. I should have really paid attention, but I didn't. So is it Impildramon that you can see it follows me there? I ended up with 3 during my natural gameplay. One I digivolved into the white version later on, but one of them did come from doing that little technique, going for the Stingmon way. Fortunately, it doesn't work on other DNA digivolves, or none that I could see, but you know, that could save you some time. But yeah, so importing the field guide over is definitely a good thing. The medals, that's like the collectathon. I'm not really bothered about the medals, so I'm probably not going to really go back to the game. I can see when I've gone back to play it, there does seem to be a little bit of after gameplay. Like I have gone back and finished the field guide. I got the after main story Digimon. I'm not going to talk about them because again, spoilers. So I'm not going to talk about them. But there are a few. So what's the sort of good things in the game? So as I just mentioned, the good things in the game is there are new Digimon. It kind of is a new story, and again, it's another brand new Digimon game that's in English. That's the plus sides I can speak about it. And I've easily lost well over 100 hours into it. The exploits from the previous game, as mentioned, are present in this one. So again, that's another good thing. Or at least I think it's a good thing. Now, what I think of the flaws of the game. It's an asset thief. I'd say 96% of the game is taken from the previous Cyber Sleuth, including locations. So you've got maps, character models, a lot of content already translated, like names, attacks, blah 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 blah, all that sort of stuff. So you're not really going to be getting too much of a new experience, which is why I can't rank this as much as I would rank Cyber Sleuth 1. Again, I've mentioned briefly that the online play is apparently broken, but again, that doesn't bother me, but I know the competitive ones of you out there, that is going to bother the hell out of you, so I'm sorry if I'm being the one to bring the bad news to you there. Now, going to another negative on this is the DLC. So the pre-order DLC, as far as I'm aware, you can't get it now, from my understanding. There was like a thing on the Bandai Namco UK or Europe area where you could get another DLC code, which I did. Again, I don't know if that's still valid, but if it's not, again, that's more Digimon that you're missing out on, and items, like clothing items that you won't be able to get. So again, I'm not saying you can't get them, I'm just saying I'm not aware if that's still ongoing. And then there was like another DLC for some of these NX Digimon, which were essentially like Mega Level Digimon but in like chibi form, which I paid for because I just wanted to be able to say I've got every aspect of the game. I don't recommend paying for it. I never used any Digimon, they all got shot in the farm and just left. All the NX Digimon pretty much did that for me, just shot them straight in the farm, wasn't bothered about them. But again, it's nice to have just the Chibimons. So I think that's like a negative. It's too much from the last game. Now going on that alone, price wise is that you're paying for a full retail game with, like I mentioned, like 90 to 96% of the content taken from a previous game. That shouldn't be a full retail buy purchased game. To me, this should have been a budget title. That's how I feel about it. I've enjoyed the game, like I said. I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed it, but it shouldn't be full priced. So overall, what I'm going to say about this is, if you're a Digimon fan, yeah, go out and buy it. If you're an RPG fan, sure, why not buy it? But I would highly recommend holding off till you see the price on this drop, because it is not worth the full retail price. In fact, I went and checked a few days ago on the Vita, the original Cyber Sleuth game was like £5 or under. That's a reasonable price for this game. If you've got Cyber Sleuth 1, you don't need to rush out and buy this unless you want to see the other sides of the story, but there's not too much of it. That's all I can really say about it. But overall, I did enjoy playing the game. It's not one that I can highly recommend. Cyber Sleuth, again, is one of the best Digimon games. With this taking too much from it, it just feels as like an imitation, not quite whole. But anyway, that concludes my discussion on Cyber Sleuth. Again, I'm sorry I've been speaking for nearly 20 minutes or so. I didn't expect to have this much to say about the game. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Maybe let me know you've really got this far. Maybe if you have reached this far, comment below and tell me what your favourite Digimon is. You know, let me know. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Sorry for rambling. I hope you all have a lovely weekend and stay safe if the weather is bad where you are.